everyone, welcome back to our channel. I'm Anne and together with my business partner Wayne, we make up the Sussex Handmade Soap Company. And in today's video, we are going behind the scenes at craft fairs and events. Craft fairs and events are a really useful tool for actually getting out, selling product and meeting people who are interested in your product and like what you do. We do an awful lot of craft fairs throughout the year. Not so many last year for obvious reason, but the year before it was pretty much every weekend from March right through to December. We were out at least one event. So today, if you haven't done craft fairs before, or perhaps you've only done a few, perhaps you're thinking about booking your first one and you're not really sure what to expect or what you're going to need, we are going to show you our setup, and we are also going to give you a few little tips about what to look for when booking a craft fair, and ideas about what you can do to try and maximise your sales when you are actually there and selling. So the very first thing we're going to show you is how we set up our stand. So when you take the plunge and decide that you are going to do your first craft fair or event, it can be a little bit daunting when you think about what you're actually going to need to take with you in terms of stock, in terms of signs, in terms of anything you're going to need to decorate your table. So today we are going to show you our stand setup, our table setup, and we're going to talk you through what we take with us to our craft fairs. So we have mocked up exactly what our table looks like, and we're just going to talk you through everything that we take to our fairs and why it's useful, and we're going to tell you if we think it's something that's absolutely necessary or if it's just something that is, a good idea to have with you. And the first thing, which I would say is normally absolutely necessary, is a table. We have a nice 6 foot by roughly 2.5 foot table. I'm not sure exactly how big it is because I can't remember the measurements, but it is 6 foot and I think it's 2.5 feet wide. And it is a nice sturdy table, and the majority of craft fairs and events do require you to take your own table. If I can find a link for where we purchased our table from, I shall pop that in the description for you as well. The second thing that we take with us to all our craft fairs and events is these crates that we display all of our products on. And these are incredibly useful for creating some height, and they add a nice bit of space to our table, and this is what we display all of our products on. So we recommend having some sort of crates or system that's going to allow you to actually create a little bit of height and a little bit of interest on your table. The next thing you are going to need is some signage. We have a lot of signage on our table. We have price lists, very, very important. You want to make sure that your price lists are nice and clear, easy to be spotted, easy to be read, because a lot of the time if people can't see prices, instead of asking you, they're just going to leave your stand and they're not going to buy anything. And similarly, If you have any show offers, which I do recommend doing, people love an offer, they love the idea of getting a little bit of money off, so I recommend show offers. If you do any show offers, make sure that they are also nicely highlighted so people can see that they are getting a special offer. We also have signage that tells people about our different items for sale. So we have a little sign that tells people about our gift sets. We do a range of gift sets as well, which we have displayed. We show them so people can see what they are getting, and we have a sign that tells people all about our gift sets. Similarly, our salt bars have their own little story. We like to kind of put a little story and a little description on everything so people can kind of really get a feel for our business and learn a bit about us. And then coming down this way, we have little signs that tell people about each of our individual soaps. Just a little bit again of a backstory about our soaps. And for our Dead Sea Clay one, we also have a sign that lets people know that that won a Bronze Skincare Award in 2020, which we are very proud about, and it does actually help raise sales. We have seen our sales of our Dead Sea Clay soap go up since we won that award. So if you've won any awards or things like that, make sure you tell people about them, because that's the kind of stuff that you should be proud about, you should be boasting about. So, yeah. I think that covers it for signage. It also kind of goes without saying that you want to take plenty of stock with you. It may be that you have a bit of a rubbish fair and you end up bringing most of it home, but you don't want to be running out if you have a really good fair. So we take pretty much as much stock as we can carry. And it's worked well for us because there have been times where had we taken any less, we would have run out, which we don't want to do if we've got stuff sitting at home that we could have brought with us and could have sold. So take plenty of stock. And also on that line, take plenty of bags for your customers to carry their stock home in. We do find nowadays most customers actually bring their own bags, which is great, but some don't, and some people like to have a little bag. So just simple carrier bags. We use paper ones because we are a plastic-free company. So paper bags to carry stock, or their purchases, should I say, home in. And the other thing we want is we want our customers to remember us. We want our customers to know who we are, and we want to be recognisable. So we carry that through in all our branding. So we have a nice large sign that we take to our fairs that just shows in big bold letters our company name, our website, our Facebook and our Instagram. And we carry that branding right through everything. It is on all of our soaps. It is on our body butters. We have that branding on everything. And as you'll probably notice, we also have it on our clothing. We got this workwear printed a few months ago, and it just kind of helps tie the brand in and let people know that we are serious, because we're very, very serious. No, we're not. We're never serious, but we are about our business. And we also have business cards. We always have business cards out on the table, because we get a lot of people who don't want to buy straight away, but pick up a business card, pop it in their pocket, and we do actually get customers that come back to us even months down the line who haven't bought from us on the day, but they've taken a business card and then they go onto our website and they purchase. So I would definitely recommend having business cards. And when it comes to taking the money, you are going to want to have a float. So basically just an amount of change so that if people hand you notes, you can give them some change, because not everyone likes to pay by card. Some people want to pay by cash, and if they do, you want to have a nice supply of change so that you can give them their change, basically. We have it in these little, what are these called, Wayne? They're not bum bags, are they? But they're like market trader.
Money belt?
Money belt, that's it. We have these money belts that just sort of go around our waist, so we have our hands free, but our cash is always on us and it's never left alone. And I would recommend that, because although the vast majority of people are honest and lovely, you only need one, what can I say, one mean person who wants to steal your money when your back's turned for everything to go wrong. So I recommend having it kept on you at all times. Oh, also on the subject of money, a lot of people do like to pay by card and do not carry cash. So we strongly recommend having a card reader of some kind. We use a SumUp. You can also use, I think it's iZettle, and I think PayPal do one as well. we find that the Sum Up card reader works best for us, and they are affordable and easy to use. Ours works in conjunction with a phone, but they do ones that you don't even need to have a phone for, and we would thoroughly recommend having a card reader. We wouldn't have taken half as much money as we have at events if we hadn't had one of these. So crucially important, I would say, to enable everyone who wants to be able to buy your products. And the thing is as well, if they're paying on card, they often spend more money. Bonus! And on that note, we also have a power bank. This is just a portable charger. So if, because I say we need to use our phone to make this run, and if the phone suddenly runs out of battery, the card reader won't work. So we have a portable backup charger. We had one event where Wayne had 30-40% or so left on his phone, and for some reason it just suddenly died. So it's always good to have a backup charger that you can plug in should the worst happen and you run out of battery. And the other things that we like to have are just a few general things that help, not necessarily essential, but they do help. We always have pens with us so we can record sales, and we have a tally sheet. You guys know what I'm like with my spreadsheets. As I say, I like my spreadsheets, so we have a full-on spreadsheet with all of our items listed, and we have colour-coded pens, so when we sell something, we can mark it down in the correct tally sheet, and then when I do the accounts later on, it all balances perfectly. Most of the time. So pens are good. Similarly, scissors. You wouldn't think about it, but the amount of times we're like, have we got any scissors? We need scissors. Just random little things that you need scissors for. So take some scissors with you, and trust me, it does help. You also, well, I say you don't need, this is something you don't need, but it's something that's sometimes nice to have. Take some lunch with you and a drink. A drink, I would say, actually is on the yes, definitely take a drink with you. Lunch, if you want something to eat, not essential, but always good to have. Wayne always tends to take lunch with him. I tend to not take lunch with me because I like to go and support all the other traders and buy their food. I would say it's a lovely altruistic move, but it's really not. It's basically just me being a little bit of a pig and liking to get out there and spend my money on all the lovely food that the other traders do, whereas Wayne's better at not spending money unnecessarily. So he takes lunch with him and probably saves himself a lot of money compared to me spending. So yeah, if you're like Wayne and you want to obviously make the most money, take some lunch with you and take a drink. You also need to take with you a good sense of humour, because believe me, it will be required. I don't think there's a single event we've been to where we haven't required a good sense of humour. It is a crucial part of doing a craft fair. And the last thing that we take with us, that started as a little bit of a mascot, but has actually turned into rather a valuable member of staff, is Maurice. Let me introduce you guys to Maurice. He is our little orangutan buddy. He wasn't actually bought for the soap business. He was actually bought when I was down at Monkey World with my children a few years back. He is my son's cuddly orangutan. We thought it'd be quite sweet just to take Maurice with us as kind of the mascot, because we don't use palm oil, and we thought, you know, show people we don't use palm oil, have Maurice as our mascot. What we have found is that Maurice has actually sold bars of soap. And I know you're probably thinking that I'm crazy saying that, but I'm not. What tends to happen, you get parents and kids. The parents kind of walk past, not really looking at the stalls. Parents wander past, kid goes past, kid goes, "Mummy, mummy, look!" Points at the orang. Maurice gives a little cheeky wave. Parent turns round, parent goes, "Oh yeah, that's nice." Parent comes over to the stall, goes, "Oh, no palm oil, that's great." Parent starts smelling the soap. Parent decides they like something. Parent buys something. Maurice has made a sale and earned his keep for another day. So if there is something like that, I would hesitate to call him a gimmick, because he's not. I say he started as a bit of a mascot, but if you've got anything like that that you can take to kind of draw customers in and just create a little bit of a smile, then take that with you, because it may surprise you like it did us, and it may end up with you getting extra sales. Bonus! So, I think that is pretty much everything that we take for our stand. So now let's go over some tips for what to look out for when you're actually initially choosing what craft fairs and events you want to attend. So when you do attend a craft fair or event, there is often, if it's your first time at that particular event, no real guarantee of how much money you are likely to take and whether it's going to end up being a worthwhile event for you. But there are a couple of things you can do beforehand, before even booking the event, that can help a little bit in trying to ensure that it is going to be a success. And there's a couple of points to consider when picking craft fairs or events. The first thing is the potential audience you are going to reach. And by that I mean both the age, the gender and the type of person that you're going to see at those events. For example, if it is a garden show, you are likely to get people who are heavily into gardening. We do a few garden shows, our soaps sell fairly well at them, but we find without any shadow of a doubt at garden shows, our gardener's soap will be our successful soap at that event. We will sell more gardener's soaps than anything else. So you want to make sure that the event you are attending is targeted to people who are going to be interested in your product range. Our target customers are generally women. We generally sell to women. We have a few men we sell to, but it is nearly always women. And it is generally women who are probably late 20s right through to 60s, 70s sort of. So we are targeting women from late 20s through to their 70s or even, 80s, 90s. Women 20 plus, kind of like our soaps. That is our target audience. So we want to make sure that the events we attend have lots of people, lots of women in that age bracket. There would be no point in us doing a kind of fair that was targeted to younger people or a fair where the majority of attendants were men, because those people don't tend to buy from us so much. So when you are looking through craft fair booking forms, sometimes on those forms they will give you a breakdown of the kind of people that come to those fairs. They will give you a breakdown of their age, a breakdown of males and females, and a breakdown of kind of what type of people like the events. If they don't, then I would recommend asking if you're not sure. If you're not sure if your stall is going to fit an event, ring up the organiser or email the organiser and just say, can you give me a breakdown? Is it going to be more men, more women? What kind of ages of people come to your fair? Are they families? Are they couples? Find out as much as you can about the type of person coming to your fair, because then you're going to be able to judge whether that fair is going to be geared towards your target market or not. Also, if it's a fair that has been running regularly for years and years and years, ask about the previous attendance. Ask how many people have attended in the past, because good fair organisers will generally have records of how many people attend their shows year on year. So you want to find out how many people have attended those fairs, and then you can find out roughly how many people you are likely to see through the doors at that particular craft fair. And again, that helps you to know if it's going to be worth your while spending out the money and going. What else? Oh, yeah, I know. The location. And by that, I mean, how easy is it to get to for the customers? Is it a location that can be walked to? Is it one that you would need public transport or a car to get to? We find that shows that are held at events where people can easily walk in do really well. And we also find that events that have got good public transport links really close by also do well. With public transport, just bear in mind that on Sundays, sometimes the public transport doesn't run so often. So on Sundays, you might find less people. But again, some fairs actually lay on their own kind of public transport for people that don't drive, and that is really good. So yeah, how easy is the fair going to be for customers to actually get to? And on a similar vein, how easy is the fair going to be for you to get to? Is it a long way away or is it close? Obviously, that's going to impact how easy it's going to be for you to do the fair, how long it's going to take you to get there, and how much it's going to cost for you to get there. We've done some shows that are like 5 miles down the road, and that's great. We can get up later, we don't really have to factor in too much for petrol, and we love shows that are close to home. We've also done some fairs that have taken us like 2.5 hours to get to. And then, of course, we're factoring in extra costs for petrol, we're getting up earlier, and we only do a fair that is a long way away if we think it's really going to be worth our while. You also want to consider the cost of a pitch at a fair, and we have paid anything from, well, £0 actually, because there is one fair we did that was free, which was fantastic, right up to, I think our most expensive fair was just over £600, which was a huge amount of money. And that all went completely wrong actually, because the weather was terrible, the gazebo broke and everything went horrible. So that wasn't a good one. But yeah, there's a huge scope of what you can actually be paying for a fair. We tend to find that the fairs that are priced around about £150 to £250 tend to work the best for us. And when we're looking at that kind of money, that is generally for a weekend or perhaps even 3 days over a bank holiday as well. That is not per day. So we generally spend between £150 and £250 for a weekend or 3-day long pitch, and we tend to find that that price bracket works well for us. Those fairs seem to be the ones that get in lots of people, those people spend money, and we still make decent profit. When we go slightly higher in the pricing scale, we generally still make profit because people spend more, and so higher price fares are okay. Lower priced fares, and I'm talking the ones that are around about £50 or under, we don't actually do so well as, because they are cheaper, but we find that they don't attract so many people and those people don't spend as much. So we would actually rather spend a little bit more and go to a larger fair that's had loads of advertising and attracts loads of people than a smaller fair that's cheaper and doesn't attract as many people, because we end up not actually getting as much profit from those kind of fairs. But again, that is just us. Your experience may be completely different. So just try a few fairs, try different price brackets and find out what works for you. Now, lastly, let's move on to some tips of things you can do when you're actually at the fair that are going to help to maximise your profit. They're going to help you to be seen as perhaps a serious, attendant rather than just somebody that's doing as a bit of a hobby. Just things that are going to make you be taken a bit more seriously and hopefully make you earn a little bit more money. And the first one is just be punctual. I know I sound like a school teacher saying that, don't be late, but it's really important. Don't be late. If you're late, you're likely going to annoy the organisers, and you don't want to be annoying the organisers. If you can be early, I would say that's better, but don't be too early, because if you're too early, then you're still potentially going to annoy the organisers, because they don't like people turning up super early. So just be punctual. Be punctual, be polite, all the kind of stuff that you would expect to be anyway. Right, get a good night's sleep the night before as well. I mean, that is crucial. Craft fairs and events sometimes require getting up really early and getting home late at night. So make sure you've had a really good night's sleep. Also, make sure you have planned out everything you need to take with you well in advance. You don't want to be rushing around the night before or even the morning of the fair. You want everything sorted, everything boxed up, everything ready to go, so there is no stress the day before. Similarly, plan the route. If you're going somewhere and you're not entirely sure, have a look on Google Maps, plan the route, work out how long it's going to take, see if it's any roads that are potentially going to cause hold-ups. Just really focus in on where you're going, so you know where you're going, you know how long it's going to take you, you're not going to be rushing. So that is a good tip. I think it's a good tip anyway. Have all the paperwork for the fair on you. Sometimes when you get to the entrance, they'll want to see the paperwork, so have that easily to hand. And have the phone numbers of the organisers, so if anything does happen, say there's a hold up, there's a traffic jam, you're going to be late, have a phone number so you can ring them and let them know, and then hopefully they'll be able to work something out for you. Right, when you're actually at the fair and it is running, again, a very obvious point is stand and talk and engage the customers. Don't be sitting behind the stand looking at your phone, looking bored, because if you're looking bored, those customers are less likely to want to come up to your stand and talk to you and buy your stuff. You know, say hello. Don't do the hard sell on them, but just say hello, make them aware that you're there to help them, and if they want to have a chat, have a chat. It's really nice just getting out and talking to people. Even if they don't buy anything, I still love it. It's just nice to give them a smile and a friendly hello and acknowledge them. And I know that is such a basic tip, but we have been at fairs where people don't say hello. I always have a wonder when I'm at these fairs, and I do find a surprising amount of people. They're sitting down and they're looking at their phones or they're reading, and I got to their stands and they don't say hello to me, which, to be honest, I don't especially mind because I'm just browsing. But if I was actually a customer looking to buy, I'd find that a little bit annoying. So yeah, always greet the customer. Really basic advice, but really good advice as well. And I think I'm there now. I think I've covered craft fairs. Have we covered craft fairs? Oh, I think we've covered craft fairs. So that is our basic craft fair video, and next week we shall just expand on it a little more, and we shall just give you a little info on the types of people you can expect to meet at craft fairs, other traders, customers, what to expect, just things like that, because we often find there are certain types of customers who you will get at every single event, and they're all brilliant, but they are, there's some very stereotypical customer bases. So we'll talk a little bit through them just so you kind of know the kind of people you can expect to meet at events like this. So thank you for watching. Join us on Friday for our soap making video, and next Tuesday for our craft fair part 2 video. And if you enjoy our videos, please do like, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and that's it. Bye.